Game number 2 of the Missouri Valley Conference season features the defending champion Loyola Ramblers at the Drake Bulldogs. Good afternoon, everyone. Larry Morgan and Adam Emmenecker. And the Bulldogs season arc certainly took a change on Wednesday at Evansville when Nick Norton, who'd been a superb player to this point, went down with a season-ending knee injury. How will that change things for Drake?
Yeah, first and foremost, on behalf of Drake fans everywhere, Larry, deep breath. Nick Norton had an unbelievable year. He was so key to what this team did, and just him instilling a culture and understanding what Coach Darren DeVries wanted to do really spurred this team to that hot start they had. Really unfortunate for the kid and the team, but anytime a player goes down, there's an opportunity for someone to step up. They're going to need all 7, 8, 9 guys that hit the floor tonight to carry a little more of that burden.
And for Darren DeVries and staff, it's really totally retooling an offense because virtually everything went through Norton.
Yeah, he was their primary ball handler, the primary distributor. This team is one of the top assist teams in the country. Nick Norton's a big part of that, and he didn't turn the basketball over. Oh yeah, he shot 40% from 3 as well. So he was incredibly versatile, so calm, cool, and collected on the offensive end. I think we're going to see Coach Darren DeVries run a lot of similar offensive concepts tonight. We'll see who steps up and fills that void.
Okay, so now we talk about next man in, and as we go to our spotlight players, who do you go to for a starting point guard? The only experienced one on the squad, Noah Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, this is as big of a test as it gets for the sophomore. You're playing against the 10th ranked defense in the country in scoring defense here in Loyola. So Noah Thomas has shown flashes throughout his career, but his elite skill is his speed and running in the full court. Can he play in a half-court game? No better test than against one of the best defenses in the NCAA.
Loyola, of course, a Final Four team last year, as everybody remembers. 8-6 this year. What do you make of that?
You know, so you look at their record, and you're a little bit of a surprise to see that 6 losses, but they lost some really tough games. They played at home against Nevada. You're not supposed to lose at home, but you lose at home to a top 5 team. And they played tough. They just couldn't get over the hump. I think one of the struggles for Loyola, they have 3 returners who were key in their attack last year. The other guys just haven't really stepped up to fill that full-time void yet.
Their spotlight player, Cameron Krutwig, was the freshman of the year in the Valley a season ago.
Yeah, Krutwig coming off a game where he had 16 and 10 against Indiana State, maybe the best game they've played all year. But he's so big and long, and he's twinkle toes out there. He's got really good footwork, finishes well, soft touch around the rim with his left hand, and he's a really great facilitator. Cameron Krutwig, one of the best bigs in the Valley.
So today you have the highest scoring team in the Valley and one of the best defensive teams in the country squaring off.
Yeah, which will be interesting. It'll be a test of 2 wills. Can Drake get out in transition and get some easy buckets, especially because their offense might be strained a little bit without Nick Norton, their senior ball handler, senior leader. And for Loyola, they're going to try to get this one muddy. They're going to play in the half court, use their experience. Let's see what team can actually impose their will on the pace.
It should be a most interesting afternoon as the Drake Bulldogs face a big challenge without Nick Norton against the Final Four team from a year ago, the Loyola Ramblers, next on MC22. Both teams are red hot. Loyola has missed a shot. Drake's missed none. Bulldogs lead by 8. What are they doing right? Well, let's look at Nick McGlynn. That's one of the things they're doing right.
Yeah, I think Nick McGlynn really started it off, gave his team some confidence. Look at this high-low. Does a great job getting position, keeping the ball high, and a good pass from Tramel Murphy on the perimeter. Here he goes. This is what makes him so dangerous. His ability over the last couple of years, stepping out, shooting the 3, and watch the patience. 4 dribbles, up fake, up and under, draw the foul, up through Cameron Krutwig. Nice and strong for Nick McGlynn. A great start with 8 points. And how about this, Larry? We're through 5 minutes. Only 1 rebound between these 2 teams.
That is amazing. And how about this? Noah Thomas, being asked to rise to the occasion, has hit 2 trays in this game. He had 2 3-point baskets in his last 9 games combined.
Yeah, I was working the radio in the last game with Michael Admire, and Admire reminded Noah Thomas in his interview that, hey, Noah, do you know you hadn't made a shot all month in December? You haven't made a 3 all month? And Noah said, yeah, it was nice to see a couple go down in their last game against McKendree.
McGlynn to the baseline, and he cannot miss today.
That's pretty good defense there by Cameron Krutwig. Just better offense from Nick McGlynn going up and finishing, and you see that first offensive possession where the absence of Nick Norton was felt a little bit. They were a little discombobulated. Nick McGlynn stepped up and made a play.
So we talk about outstanding defense by Loyola. Are they doing anything wrong, or is it just Drake doing everything right?
You know, I think one rotation was a little bit slow, but for the most part, Drake's just taking and making good shots.
Cutwig bottled up on McGlynn. Towns knocks down a three. Now, you've seen a lot of basketball games. Have you ever seen shooting like this? Let's take a look at DJ Wilkins. He's just one of the many.
Yeah, I mean, just 7 of 7 from 3. 8 minutes into this basketball game, and DJ Wilkins doing it over that last stretch. Knockdown number 1, nothing but net. Does this one hit the rim? Go under the screen, hand down, man down, right through for DJ Wilkins. Then Tremel Murphy, the 5 from the corner. Coach Porter Mosier's got to put somebody on. The freshman DJ Wilkins knocking down 3 threes in a 4-minute stretch. 11 points early on in this basketball game. Heck of a start for Drake.
A really incredible, unbelievable start. You look at Loyola, 6 of 9 shooting, 3 of 5 from three-point range, not terrible, and yet they find themselves in arrears by 14. Okay, I look at the stat sheet. 1 offensive rebound.
Yep.
That tells me both teams probably shot it pretty well.
Yeah, between the two teams. And how about this? 16 threes between the two of them as well. So bombing away from distance. Drake started 7 of 7, finished 8 of 12. Loyola 8 of 14. So both teams shooting around 60% from 3. Man, it's hot in here, Larry. Both these teams running up and down, hot shooting, sizzling in the Knapp Center.
It really is. I guess because the weather outside is so warm, but it certainly is warm in here. Now, what really changed? Obviously, the Bulldogs weren't going to hit every shot they took after hitting their first 10. Drake built a 16-point lead. How did Loyola turn it around?
Yeah, I mean, I think more than anything else, it was just a little bit of reversion to the mean. So Drake did a really good job of getting open shots, creating shots with the pass, and then as Loyola started to get less in help side position, put more pressure on the Drake ball handlers, trying to make them go by him, that's when it was harder for Drake to get into their offensive flow. And so because Loyola forced him more on the perimeter, didn't let the ball inside, and was forcing ball handlers to try to beat him, Drake got a little stagnant. And the other thing, guys got a little tired, subs came in, they lost a little of that continuity. That 3 by DJ Wilkins to end that first half was big to draw this game back to 6, because Loyola was hot. They went on a 25-point run after Drake was up 16.
Right, and there was a 9-point lead for Loyola prior to that, so the momentum was clearly the Ramblers until that shot.
Yeah, and you know, for Loyola, you got what you expected, right? So on the defensive side, maybe not as strong of an effort as you would normally see, but on the offensive end, who was it? It was Towns and Custer. 16 and 14 respectively. Those two guys accounting for 6 of the 8 threes for this Loyola Rambler ball club. And man, on offense, they were just really tough, and they shouldered the burden when Drake went on that run to help incrementally bring their team back and up to a lead here at halftime.
Let's go to first half highlights, of which there were plenty.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fast-paced game. Loyola likes to play maybe more of a slower-paced half-court game, but this one got sizzling early. It was Nick McGlynn, the first 3 buckets for the Bulldog. That was his first one. He knocked down a 3. Then he gets this old-fashioned 3-point play against the sophomore center, Krutwig. It was Nick McGlynn first. The next guy to step up was DJ Wilkins, 3 in a row, knocking down that one up top. He knocked down 1 off the screen in a similar spot, and then here the 3rd one from Tremel Murphy. Good offensive action off the cut, kicking that one out. Then they come back. Custer knocks that one down. 4 for 4 from distance for him in the first half. It was Towns in transition as well. A heck of a pass. The dime from Clayton Custer over his head to Cameron Krutwig, and this is the 3 I mentioned right at the end. Look, the offense isn't moving. There's no place for DJ Wilkins to go. The shot clock's winding down. He just steps up and hits it. A big shot for the freshman.
First half numbers at the end, the field goal shooting and the 3-point shooting, eye-popping.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest difference in this one, 3-pointers obviously even. Points in the paint for Loyola, 18 versus only Drake, versus only 8 for the Bulldogs. Pretty good assist numbers, pretty low turnovers, low offensive rebounds like you mentioned. So we'll see if it's a slower second half than it was the first half. Usually the second half increases the pace. Hold on to your hats if that's the case for us.
Absolutely. Towns and Custer together, 30 points between them with a 46 for Loyola. Krutwig with another 9. That just leaves 2 for somebody else, so nobody off the bench scored.
Yeah, I mean those 3, that's their core. I mean, those are the guys that all year, not only last year in their Final Four run, that were consistently in the mix and had some big games, but also this year, those 3 maybe haven't been the best version of themselves every game, but they've been consistently good. What Porter Mosier and his staff want to see is who is that 4th guy? Who's the guy that's going to step up and give us a big lift? So, you know, you see Kafis with 6. He knocked down those 2 threes. They need that on a more consistent basis. They need some of those other bench guys to get a few garbage buckets.
Nick McGlynn hung in there, fought hard.
Yeah, at the beginning of the game, he started off playing well, scored the first 3 buckets for Drake. And here in the second half, again, as they were reeling a little, good play out of a timeout. Nice drop from DJ Wilkins into Nick McGlynn in the middle, finishing with authority. Got the Drake faithful back into this one, but Loyola just too much on the offensive side. Played good defense and were too much to overcome for the Bulldogs.
Our player of the game, number 5, and he was superb for the Ramblers.
28-5-5. I mean, a heck of a game. 11-17 from the floor, was knocking him down from distance, slicing through the lane. Good defense to boot as well. Marcus Towns, absolutely unreal this evening. The way he helped put his team on his shoulders, him and Clayton Custer collectively, to bring the Ramblers their second victory, 2-0 in the Missouri Valley Conference.
So the Ramblers, the preseason pick to win it in the Valley, the defending champs of the Valley, start 2-0. For the Bulldogs, as Darren DeVries pointed out, when Nick Norton was there, all the puzzle pieces fit.
Yep.
And now it's time to redo the puzzle.
Yeah, you get different pieces, right? So you get a chance. And honestly, listen, so we talked a lot about Nick Norton, and they're going to miss him. This happens all the time in college athletics, college basketball, whatever it is. It's difficult because of starting with low expectations, shattering up through that glass ceiling and playing well, getting a lot of eyes on you if you're the Drake Bulldogs across the valley. Nick Norton was a big part of that. But now, okay, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Nobody's going to just give you a win. You got to go out there and earn it. So for some of those other younger guys, it's an opportunity to prove themselves this year, prove themselves going forward in the rest of their career. Who's going to step up and make a difference? And for the Bulldogs, another chance here at home on Tuesday against Southern Illinois. Yeah, I think really happy for Coach Darren DeVries and his staff. I think they're excited to be able to be at home, but that's a tough group. You know, I really like Southern and their team overall. I thought they had a chance to surprise some people in the non-conference, but the schedule doesn't get easy. There's no easy teams. You play these teams twice every year. They know you, they know your personnel, even though I guess that's a little bit different for Drake this year, but it's difficult. Games keep coming. You have to be able to adapt and react, and for Drake, a lot of adversity, got to continue to fight through it.